Hello, I'm Ryan Zink, and this is Creative Intuitive Solutions, where I teach you how to use your imagination, your creativity, along with your clairvoyance to find solutions and create energetic change. So, tonight I want to talk about life lessons and people that are misguided when they think they're in a situation that they're really learning a life lesson and they really don't need to be learning the lesson that way, and how they're not really learning a lesson. So, I'm going to use the example of drug addicts, and you can apply this to any other person or category. It doesn't necessarily have to be drug addicts. And this is kind of extreme. And you can hear what I say, and you can gauge it with your own personal truth and decide what's true for you. But I'm going to use a specific scenario, and this is somebody that is on meth. And I have a lot of experience in this. I have many friends that have been addicted to meth, and even family members. So the person that is on meth, maybe they've had a 20-year run. So maybe they started when they were 18, and by the time they're 38, they have found, maybe they're born again and they found God or something, and they've gotten off of it. So you'll hear people say that they have had to learn this lesson, and they've learned all these lessons within that run of however long they did the drug for. When you're on a drug like that, or even alcohol, you are not really learning life lessons. You are in a stuck place, and there are really no lessons to be learned. So when you are on a substance like that, your growth kind of stops because you cannot think and you cannot function. If you've ever seen anyone that's been addicted to meth or a drug like that, they cannot function. It's really hard for them to survive. And this is because they have stopped their growth, their expansion, and their learning. When you're in true growth or true expansion and true learning, your life is constantly expanding into the best potentials, the best probabilities, and the best possibilities that are possible for you at any given moment. And when you're on a drug like meth, it really constricts you, and it really cuts you off from infinite intelligence, from having answers, from wisdom, from knowledge. And from my experience, these people that are on drugs in that category really feel superior, and really feel kind of invincible, and really feel powerful, but it's really a false sense of power. The person that is on that drug is not growing at all in their drug use. There is no expansion. There is no you can't think to be able to use the mind correctly, because those drugs are disrupting the mind. So that's just kind of my scenario and example with meth, but you could apply this to anything. Also, if you see somebody that is using marijuana, people say marijuana is not a big deal. I want you to, the next time you're with a friend and they smoke marijuana or weed or pot or whatever, or trees or whatever you want to call it, ask them to smoke a whole blunt. And then wait about 5 or 10 minutes after they smoke the blunt. Now let them be completely sober first. Maybe they haven't had the money for weed in a couple of days, and they've just got a 20 sack of weed. Have them roll a blunt, and then look at them in the eye 10 minutes later, and then honestly ask yourself if that person looks present in their body. And then think back anytime if you've ever smoked weed or a blunt. And maybe you've had aha moments and you thought, wow, I had all these great thoughts and experiences. And then think back to the times that you had those great aha moments, but then a day or two later you couldn't even remember what they were. That's how unconscious and unpresent people are that even smoke weed. So, and I know that from personal experience because that is one thing that I did used to do. So, you've got to really think if you're really learning a lesson or if you're lying to yourself that you're learning a lesson from the experience and you're really just becoming more unconscious and more constricted and less expansive. Have a good night.